Davis missed half of the season. LeBron James missed a part of the season with injuries. So you're asking a guy in year 20, never have we seen a guy be this head and shoulders above his teammates. And when you have a guy that's considered of as a top 10 player, maybe a top 5 talent, and Anthony Davis is on that team, and LeBron James is the best player on the team. So for me, Skip, look, we've seen, this is not speculation, and I don't like to get in conjecture. I don't like to get in innuendo. But this is what we know about Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Their first year they came together, they won a title. The second year, they went to the playoffs. Anthony Davis got nicked in the playoffs after having a monster game. LeBron James limped into the playoffs. They got beat 4-2 by the Phoenix Suns, who eventually went on to the NBA Finals. They lost by the same 4-2 to the Milwaukee Bucks. So we know, healthy LeBron, healthy AD, we know what they're capable of. We don't have to speculate. This is all about Russ, and can Russ, if he's going to be on the roster, can they find a role which he can thrive and contribute without being the Russ that he's been at OKC, at Houston, at the Wizards? That's the question, because we don't have to ask the question whether or not LeBron and AD can play together. We've seen them win at the highest level. So the fly in the ointment, the fly in the milk, whatever the cliche you want to use, the thing that one of these things don't belong, which is it? I think we know that. Now, if we're going to criticize LeBron for bringing Russ on and it not working, I think it's only right that we criticize for what transpired in Brooklyn, because that hasn't worked also. So for me, GOAT is going to be GOAT, but I don't foresee him missing the playoffs again, with or without Russ.
So I'm not sure exactly how you're portraying what happened in Brooklyn. Was that Kevin Durant's idea? No, it was, I'm pretty sure it was Kyrie's idea. Let's go to Brooklyn. Kevin's like, okay, let's go to Brooklyn. Whatever you say, Chief, right?
So
you're going to blame Kevin for that?
So in other words, I just want to make sure, I just want to get you on the record. You're saying Kevin Durant bears no culpability for what transpired in Brooklyn.
As far as putting the team together, no, none. And it sure sounded like LeBron was campaigning, along with his co-star Anthony Davis, campaigning for Russell Westbrook.
But I could have swore.
In fact, you came out here and kept saying, we could have had Buddy Hield, but LeBron wanted Westbrook.
Hold on.
Right?
I could have swore Sean Marks and Woj says Kevin Durant blessed the trade for James Harden. Now I could have imagined that, but it says that they ran this by Sean Marks. They ran this by Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant blessed it.
There's a huge difference between blessing and initiating, and there is a huge difference at this stage and age between James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Huge differences.
I couldn't tell.
One can still play and one can't.
Did you see James in the playoffs against the Heat?
I saw him, but I'll take him any day or night over Russell Westbrook.
Okay, we'll trade him. We'll trade him. We'll get you. Give us James Harden. We'll give you Russ and Phil.
Well, I know you would. That's my point. Yes, sir. Exactly. So the point here is, it's feeling, after I read Jeannie's very late night tweet 2 nights ago, it's feeling like she's struggling with what to do. But if I know her, having observed her very closely for years and years, she is tough. She is hard-headed. And I believe she's going to finally dig in and stand pat and basically tell LeBron James, you wanted him, make him work next year. Make it fit. You got basketball genius. You are still the face of this franchise and the face of this league. Make it work with Russell Westbrook. That's how it feels like it. That's where it's heading right now.
Skip, I can't make steak out of popcorn. It is what it is. That's what you got. You have Russell Westbrook. You say make it work, but what? If he's not willing to accept the third option, if he's not willing, because he can't catch and shoot, that's not what he is. He's not a spot up three. And him getting to the basket, Skip, he was the percentage of the shots that he missed point blank was bottom tier. So you're asking him to you say LeBron in year 20 as your best player. You notice it's not an accident LeBron James hadn't signed that extension.
Interesting. Well, it was also not an accident that Darvin Ham took the podium in his introductory news conference and immediately said, don't you sleep on Russell Westbrook, because he has been mandated from top down, from the owner down, to fix Russell Westbrook.
But what did he tell him? He said, I want him focusing on the defensive end.
Yeah.
He said that. Focus on the defensive end. That be, hey, I know guys that focus on the defensive end, and they not offensive. They not guys that you count on offensively.
But he indicated they have had a couple of Beverly Hills dinners together, and Russ did show up, show of force. He showed up at the introductory news conference, right? And blessed it.
And he showed up at Frank Vogel's wedding, and then threw Frank Vogel at the end of the year meeting conference. He threw him under the bus.
He did do
so. That don't mean. Guess what, Darvin Ham? He'll throw you under the bus too. If he doesn't get his way and things are not going the way he think they should, he'll throw you under the bus too.
Okay, so what do I know last year that happened? I know that LeBron did play 56 games, not great, but not terrible. And as you mentioned, AD played about half. He played 40 out of 82. But Russ played for 78 games last year, okay? You couldn't get rid of him. He just plays. And yet he's over there icing and heating and doing everything, but he plays.
Yeah.
So you got to give him that. Maybe that's for all the wrong reasons, but he played. So now we look at LeBron going into year 20, AD going into year 11, and Russ going into year 15. Well, if you run it back with those three, to your point, what's the ceiling of those big three? If you're going to stand pat, if Jeannie's finally going to say, I'm sorry, we're going with this. It worked once without Russ in the bubble several years back now, but will it work again? What's the ceiling? I ask you because you went 33 and 49 with them playing sort of part-time games.
Yeah.
33 and 49, you didn't even make the play-in.
AD's going to need to play 65, 68 ball games. LeBron is going to need to play comparable to that number also. We saw them outside of the bubble, Skip. You remember that before the pandemic hit, we saw that weekend in which they did the number on Milwaukee and they did the number on the Clippers. Now, we saw what they did, so we knew that was foreshadowing. We had never seen Bron. He was so, boy, Giannis, when they put the crown on him, because, you know, earlier that year, they put the crown on Giannis.
Yep.
And your LeBron teammates saw that. He said, I got something for you when you come to Old Staples, not a crib. They put the crown back on him. He said, PG and Kawhi, I got something for y'all, too. You talk about Kawhi Town. He turned it into a ghost town. Yeah, new sheriff.
Well, is the new sheriff back in year 20?
Back.
Really?
I don't know if you've been watching, but you see him put that lab, he in the lab, Skip.
Is he?
Shirt off. Pull it up from three. Turn around. Floaters. Dunking. He in the lab. I know
it's not CGI?
It ain't no CGI. Ain't green screen. That's him. That's real.
Really?
Yeah, man. Now, I know, hey.
So you're telling me he doesn't need any new help, right?
I mean, I know he worked with James Cameron, and you know they got the new Avatar 2 coming out.
Yep.
But this ain't no CG. That's real.
Really?
Yeah. Is it like, you remember the old commercial? Is it live or is it Memorex? That's live in the concert, Skip.
Really?
Ooh, the acoustics look great.
So he doesn't need Kyrie. He doesn't need.
Man, there you go. See what you
well,
do.
that's what you're telling me. Yet you have been so down on Anthony Davis. You say he's become something of a liability because even when he does show up, he doesn't show up.
I need Anthony Davis to be healthy. I need Anthony Davis to play. I know he has the freshest watches and diamonds and jewelry and clothes. I don't want to see him. I want to see him in the number 3 Lakers uniform. That's what I want to see. That's what I need to see. I need to see. Hey, AD, you need. Hey, KG just told him. Anthony Davis should be an MVP. Anthony Davis should. Everything that I said, KG repeated it. I'm glad KG said it because KG got way more credibility in the NBA circles, 1,000, 100 million times more. But I've been saying that about Anthony Davis.
Okay. So it sounds like you don't trust Anthony Davis, and I know you don't have much to any trust or respect for Russell Westbrook. So that means the king in year 20 is back in the lab, and he's going to have to carry this show. Because if they miss the play-in tournament again,
Ain't no play-in tournament. We going far.
Okay? You're going far.
Far.
Okay, but I'm doing legacy is teetering here because if he ends up with 3 straight years of a quick exit to Phoenix and then miss the play-in, and what if they miss the play-in again?
I know a guy that was in Washington and missed the playoff his last 2 years. How did it affect his legacy?
37 and 45. He went 37 and 45 at age 39 and 40.
Were they in the playoffs?
39 and 40.
My guys, Skip, it's not my fault that my guy was so immensely talented that colleges couldn't hold him. I mean, how could Einstein go to college when you got a 250 IQ? What can you teach me? I know more than the instructors. LeBron says, how could I go to college when I'm better right now than half the NBA? And I'm 17. I wish I might grace them with my presence.
Okay.
So that's not his fault.
Okay, but yet, in the end, he could end up with 3 bad years, and all he's got to show for it is, I passed Kareem for the all-time score.
He got a title. He brought a title to the Lakers. Now, I know a guy went to Brooklyn for 3 years, and they ain't give him nothing. They ain't give him nothing. Stopped out, collected a couple checks, and they leave nothing hanging. I'm looking up I go to Barclays, and I'm looking for the championship banner, and I say, I know KD was here.
Well, at least,
I see footprints. The only thing that he left was like on the beach was footprints.
Really?
He ain't leave nothing up there.
Well, he left a banner with a big old asterisk on it. It said, "One in the bubble."
Nah.
And the truth was, nobody else wanted to be in that bubble, and LeBron held out and kept his team pumped up, and they got to the finals because nobody else wanted to be there. And then they got to play Miami in the finals, was the 5th seed in the East that had just lost its leading scorer, Dragic, and then lost Bam in game 1.
So a 5th seed is...
You're taking credit for that?
A 5th seed has never made it to the NBA Finals. All I know is they got them Jason LeBron. They got some really big rings for a really big team.
Bubblicious.
It look good.
Bubblicious.
Well,